Okay. So this is the format of the concept paper for research. So when you say concept paper, you are like making proposal for your title and your proposal for the research problem that you want to pursue for your research. Hello, ba? Ayan. Sige. So again, this will be our format. So name of the proponent, syempre name nyo lahat. And then the research title. So you will be making your own research title based on what you want to study, what problem you want to address through your research. Okay? And then we have here the problematic situation. So you have to identify, since research is like, most of our research is like doing a study that would probably help solve a certain problem. So you have to identify what problematic situation ang nag-exist. So for example, in the community that you want to address. And then the target respondents. Now, if your research involves doing a survey or doing an interview, then you have to identify who are these people. Are they medtech, registered medtech working in the hospital or in the community, or depende kung ano yung problem ninyo. So magdedepende din yung sa respondents, okay? And then area of coverage or research local. So depende din if your respondents are people in the community, you have to identify if that includes the whole, example, residents sa General Santos City, or are you just going to select a certain barangay, okay? Or kung mga medical technologies, sino ba yung mga medtech na yan? Yung mga nag-work ba sa hospital sa Jensen, sa Polomolok, wherever. Okay, so that's the research local. Now, for the second section, you have to identify the objectives of your study. Okay, dito problematic situation lang ito. Ano yung problema? Now dito, syempre objectives natin. So at the end of your research, your aim is to what? Your aim is to like identify the factors, ganyan. Then yung mga objectives, factors, kung yun yung study ninyo ha. And then you have to provide a brief background of the study. So class, you cannot start a research without researching also. So you will not know that this problem exists if you are not going to read, you are not going to observe. Therefore, dito sa background of the study, you will be placing here, you will be writing here the different related literatures that tells you na, yeah, this problem exists and we need to urgently address this one. Okay, I'll show you an example later. I'll look for an example ng concept paper. And then research questions. These are specific questions that you want to answer through your study or through your thesis. Okay, again, these are specific questions that you want to answer through your study. And then here in the methods, ayan, itong methods, step-by-step procedure on what you're going to do to gather your data. So if your study involves survey, you have to start syempre with the formulation of your questionnaire. And then, say sunod, kung mahuman na inyong questionnaire, what happened next? That will be the method. So you can present this actually in a schematic diagram. Okay, so the last part there will be syempre your data analysis. Okay, and then the third part for our concept paper is our work plan. Okay, work plan natin ito. Sa work plan, you have to include here a Gantt chart. Okay, the Gantt chart, your time frame sa inyong research. Like for example, for the month of patapos ng August, no? for the month of August, last week of August, you will be doing your concept paper. By September, you're going to start your paper, like for the introduction. And then for the month of October, you will be finishing the methodology section of your paper. Sa November, we will have your proposal defense. Ganon, time frame yon. Yun yung lalagay niyo sa work plan. And by the way, please take note that the data gathering will take place on the second semester. So if your study is experimental, you will be doing the experiment next SEMPA. If it involves doing survey or interview, then you're going to administer your survey questionnaires to your respondents next semester also. Do not forget that. So this semester, we will just finish your proposal paper. No experimentation, no data gathering. That will be on the second semester. And then, please also include a budgetary outlay or like a plan, budget plan or budget proposal, wherein you need to identify what are the things that you need to include in the budget. Example, kung nag-experiment kayo, you have like your chemicals. Kasi ano yun bibilhin nyo or i-charge sa inyo sa school. Ganon. And then, yung mga bond papers and everything, printing, isalin nyo siya dyan so that you can have a picture. If kaya nyo bang panindigan yung napili ninyo na topic? Kaya ba sa budget? Okay? Kasi baka pag na-identify nyo yung lahat ng kailangan isali dyan, umabot na siya ng 100,000 and that will be very difficult. Okay? So ito lang, concept paper. So you have to meet with your group mates and you decide ano ba yung isasalin nyo dyan. But I'm not sure kasi last year parang this one is an individual work. Okay, last year kasi this one is an individual work but you have to pass it by group. And then sa grupo na yon, doon pipili kung aling concept paper yung tatanggapin and yun na yung magiging research niyo talaga until the end of the year. Okay? So yun yung mangyayari. You can meet with your group para no duplication of the study. Kay basin ang isa, one member of the leader of the group is like studying about COVID-19 example and then a certain topic about COVID-19 and then another groupmate also made a concept paper na ganun pa rin the same topic about COVID-19. So duplication yun siya. So that is the reason why I told you na mag-meet kayo with your groupmate. Okay? Sige. So kaya? Do you have questions? Meron bang gustong itanong? Wait ha, let me check if I still have a copy of concept paper here. I'm not really sure though. Wait lang. I'm not really sure if I still have a copy. Research one. I don't have a copy. I only have MLS314. I have 314. Sige. Wala kayong gustong itanong? Tagal na mag-load. Oh, grabe. had okay, sorry for the interruption. Wala ang connection sa school. Sandali. Sana nga yun. Hadlock mag defense sa Jensen Doc. Hindi man. Hindi man. Sino ba panel nyo? Ang panel nyo, panel sa MedTech for 2 years now. Oh, no, since pandemic, ako, kasali pa rin ako sa panelist nyo. And then si Dean and si Ma'am Lugto, yung department head ng psychology. So yun yung inyong mga panelist. Napilit ba ko? Or do I have problem with my internet connection? Can you hear me? Ayan na naman siya. Uy, grabe, the struggle is real. Okay, can you hear me, class? Okay na.
Yes po.
Wala ko. Anyway, again, hindi naman nakakatakot mag-defend sa Gen Doc, no? Ako lang naman panel ninyo, si Dean and si Ma'am Girlie. And it's not na para gisahon mo, but to help you na ma-improve or mapaganda yung paper ninyo. Okay? Ano na nga yun, naghahanap pala ako ng sample concept paper. Ayaw kasi mag-load. Yun nga talaga mag-load. Hindi ang connection sa school. Nasa school kasi ako. Kasi I have my laboratory class na face-to-face. Ayan. So again, let me show you an example of a previous research paper, concept paper from the previous batch. Okay. We have this one. I hope you can see it. Ayan. Concept paper, name of proponent. Siyempre, this is individual. So we have here the research title. So sample research title niya is Knowledge, Attitude, and Practice Towards PPE-Related Waste Disposal Amid COVID-19 in General Santos City. So this is just a quantitative descriptive na study. Yeah, individual ang paggawa ng concept paper, but you have to pass it by group para doon pilian sa among the members of the group kung anong study yung ipupush ng grupo. Okay? So we have here the problematic situation. Ang problema niya is during COVID-19, there is a rise on the waste load. So gusto niyang tingnan ngayon kung ano ba yung pag-dispose ng mga mask, for example, yung mga PPEs na ginagamit since tumaas yung paggamit sa kanila. So, target respondents niya, buong Jensen talaga ito. So, like residents of General Santos City, the area coverage, the research local, Jensen. And then the objectives of the study. So like when you are going to do a research, syempre meron kang goal, meron kang aim. What do you want to achieve after doing the research? So yan yung ilalagay niyo sa objective. So dito nakalagay, the aim of this study is to evaluate the knowledge, attitude, and practices towards PPE-related waste disposal during the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, one concept paper per person. Okay? And then the background of the study. So sa background of the study, I'm expecting you to place proper citation here kasi hindi mo naman to idea. Kaya nga siya background of the study kasi you are reading and using references from other authors kung ano na ba yung nakasulat about sa topic ninyo. Okay? So, nakalagay dito, sabi niya, according to Singh et al. 2020, because of during the COVID-19 pandemic, syempre gumagamit tayo ng maraming PPEs, and that includes the face masks, the gloves, the gowns, and the goggles. Okay? Now, pag marami siyang ano dito, 'di ba? Marami siyang references. So may mga references na nagsasabi na pag improper yung waste disposal ng mga PPEs na ito, they can cause transmission of the disease. So ano niyan siya, pinagpatuloy niya yan sa pag-discuss using references. So medyo mahaba-haba itong background of the study compared to the other parts or the other section of the concept paper. Okay, and then we have here the research questions. Again, the research questions are specific questions that you want to answer through the data that you will be gathering in your research. Okay, so hindi naman necessarily na masyadong marami, no? Depende yun. Pwedeng at least 3 questions. And then the methods, actually, sabi ko kanina, you can present this through a schematic diagram. But if you opt to have this in a paragraph form, pwede din naman, as long as we can still see here the step-by-step procedure and how you're going to gather your data. And then we have here the work plan. Ito yung example ng work plan nila. Ayan, kung anong gagawin nila. Pwedeng by per month, pwedeng per week. Depende na sa inyo. Basta please remember that our goal this semester is just to finish your proposal paper. The data gathering will be on the second semester. And then ito yung budget, di ba? Very low budget. 3,000. I don't know if 3,000 ba talaga yung nagastos nila here. Kasi wala naman, hindi naman ito experimental. So, ito lang yung na-identify nila na gagastosan nila for their research. Bond paper lang during printing and whatever. Kung ano pa yung kailangan nilang gastosan. So, ito yung example ng ating concept paper. Do you have questions? May naisip na ba kayong gusto nyong i-pursue? I'll show you examples of topics that were already done in the school. Kasi no duplication kasi tayo. Ay, this is pharmacy, the medtech. Pero this is not yet updated. Next week. Next week ang deadline nito. Sige. So ito yung mga examples of the research studies conducted by the previous batches starting from 2013. Wait, let me check. Yeah, 2013. Mga medtech studies ito, no? Like example, we have halal practices among food handlers in General Santos City. Merong mga level of sanitation practices, ganon. Bakit nagdoble? Parehas na yun. Para bakit parehas hanggang MP4? Hanggang MP5 pa talaga. Nangyari dito. Anyway, and then we have here prevalence and intensity of soil-transmitted helminthiasis in preschool. They conducted their study in Bawing. So you look for studies that are medtech related. Medtech related tayo kasi yun naman yung kurso nyo. Kasi baka basin na masaag ba na your study is like more of a pharmacy study or like a psychology study. So again, please remember, look for a study that is medtech related. Okay? Then we have here, what else? Factors influencing substance abuse among residents of Dangpanan Foundation Incorporated based for an enhanced program. I'm not really familiar with this. Masyadong matagal na itong study na to. May mga antimicrobial study tayo sa school, sa medtech, antibacterial, antimicrobial, anthelmintic. So para sa mga helminths, okay? Meron din tayong existing studies sa school na assessment of like quality of water. Last time merong study last year, I think Risha to siya. They collected, what was their title? I cannot remember their title, but it was about collecting putting samples of water in different vending machines in Jensen, yung hulog-hulog piso, 5, whatever. Basta yung mga vending machines na yan, and then they tested it for the presence of certain bacteria like coliforms. Ganon yung study nila. And then, what's this? Correlation of HACCP food safety guidelines and presence of E. coli in the food sold at eateries around General Santos City. So, may related study tayo last year. Their study was about also this one, yung HACCP food safety guidelines, and at the same time presence of, it was not E. coli, I think it was salmonella, but the collection, the food that they collected was yung beverages na tinitinda ng mga street food vendors. Okay? So yun yung samples. You may think of like related studies, pero take note, no duplication tayo. Meron din tayong studies like this one, factors affecting the academic performance of medtech students. Pwede din yun. Pero yung iba, ulit-ulit na lang ito. Meron din tayong study sa medtech na experimental. Merong naghahanap ng stain using plant material. Ganon. Actually, last time, merong nag-study ng ganyan. Yung sustaining process. Parang alternative siya sa gem stain at ata, if I'm not mistaken. So, pwede doon na part yung study ninyo. Meron din tayong study na anticoagulant, like alternative for, yung ginagamit nyo, heparin, for example. Ayan. Aside from the antimicrobials and antibacterials. They have this one also, stress and blood glucose level among third-year medtech students. What else? So you can choose between experimental study or descriptive na study. Okay? Ito yung mga examples nila. Marami na ito. May study pa pala ito, rancidity of yung cooking oil na ginagamit ng street vendors. Para may ano lang kayo, may knowledge kayo kung saan banda, anong subject niyo sa medtech yung inyong ipo-pursue for a study. If mag-request ng reagents sa school, yes, it will be charged sa inyong account. Kung ano lang yung nagamit ninyo, kung ilang ml, hindi naman the whole thing. Kung ano lang yung nagamit, ilan, gaano karami. Ang chemicals, pero yung mga laboratory apparatus, laboratory equipment, you are free to use them. Ang may bayad lang doon yung mga reagents. Okay. Questions or clarification so far? Wala? Sure. Sure na yun.